Gils, author of Happier at Work. Gayle, I think somewhere in your book you said that mindfulness will help us, make us aware of the negative voices in our head. What kind of negative voices do you see coming out from most people?
Oh, wow. Well, I, like most people, have discovered that I am very critical of myself. We are always telling ourselves, who are you to say that, or to think that, or to do that? We say that we're not good enough at things. We always are harsher on ourselves than other people are on us. We hold ourselves to a very high standard. And so I think noticing the ways in which we do that, everybody does it in a different way, is really important to liberate ourselves, because then we can see, oh my gosh, that's an old voice. That's something that my mother told me when I was a child. That's not true. Or that's something that I was bullied over. That's not true. I can let go of that. So you have to see what it is you're telling yourself in order to let go of it. And you have to be a little bit brave to look at it and go beyond it. And if you never look at it, then it's just whispering and holding you back. So it's really important.
Now, those are the negatives, but I see, and I agree with this too, very often we underestimate our most powerful gifts. And I'm thinking of the natural athlete, which I'm not. A natural athlete can play tennis, and right away they hit the ball well, and they hit it where they should, and they can put some spin on it. Or if they go to a golf course, where someone like myself, I go out there and I struggle. I'm lucky if I even hit the ball, and if I do, it goes sideways or goes the wrong way or hits somebody in the head. So how do we realize our natural gifts and use them better for society?
Well, I think there's two different things in your question. First of all, if you enjoy playing golf or tennis, it doesn't matter if you're a great athlete, right?
Sure.
You know, hey, this is just something I like to do, and you're not competing to be the best. There are some things that we are naturally good at, and sometimes we undervalue that rather than realizing that's what we could be offering to the world and making our job and getting paid for. So, for instance, what I do with people, which is called, coaching or counseling or advising or consulting, or all of those different words that they use for seeing what the issue is and being able to see it clearly and help someone else to see it clearly and then help them articulate a solution. That's a gift I have. And I have, at times in my life, not valued it highly enough because it comes so naturally. I think what I should be good at should be hard for me. And that's one of the ways that we're hard on ourselves, is thinking that it should be more difficult. But actually, if you list the things that you love to do, those are probably the things that you're quite good at and that you could be using as your skills at work.
And I guess we think, for instance, the natural teacher, because that's so easy for them, the natural teacher probably thinks, oh, anybody can do this.
That's right.
Because
that's
it comes
exactly
so simple.
what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that critic that we have to pay attention to and say, wait a minute, no, this is something somebody else needs, and this is my gift. This is what I do well. I'm going to offer it. I'm going to be proud of it, and I'm going to earn money for it.
Gayle, you mentioned that perception of activity is more important than the activity of itself, and I think you talked about weight loss as an example. That was very interesting. Can you get into that a little bit?
Well, that was an interesting study. So the study was that some people who were cleaning hotel rooms, they were broken into two groups for this study. One group was told, the work that you're doing, it actually is just as important as exercise. It's as if you were going to an exercise class. Your work, you're bending, you're working, you're burning calories, and so you should feel really good about this. This is just like a weight loss program. And the other group wasn't told anything. They just did their job, and they measured their weight and certain health statistics before and after. And lo and behold, the group that was told that they were exercising lost weight. So it does prove that what we believe affects us. And it was just another data point on how important it is to know what you're thinking.
I'm going to think I'm going to lose 5 pounds in the next week. I will call you a week from now and let you know if that really works.
Oh, good luck.
I'll be the living example of that, so we'll see.
Okay.
But no, I think that's very interesting, and it probably does because at least we're focusing on it and trying to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I think of needs in life, I think of water and food and, a social need. You say quiet is an essential need. Why?
Quiet is an essential need partly because of the times that we live in, as we were saying about the information overload. So it's actually been shown that in order to form memories, in order to remember and consolidate learning, there has to be some period of quiet after we've attended a lecture or read something or taken in information in order for those memories to form. And also, in order for our sort of nervous system to relax, we need to have periods of calm and quiet so that we can allow our creativity and the combining qualities in our mind, like where we get fresh ideas, where the bell goes off, that there has to be a gap for that. So quiet's really important. And people used to have quiet. I mean, we didn't have access to music in our ears all the time and phones in our hands all the time. And when I go to pump gas where I go, they have like a TV playing on the gas pump. I mean, it's like there is no quiet.
That's
so
right.
We actually have to.
That's a great point. I forgot about that till you said it. I get out and pump gas and there's the TV on.
Yeah, I mean, there is not a moment. You go into a restaurant. It used to be you could go into a restaurant and have a conversation, a quiet meal with your partner that you went to meal with. No, now there's like 5 TV screens blaring in most restaurants. So it's very difficult, and we have to seek out quiet.
Gayle, I'd like our audience once again to know that our guest is Gayle, spelled Gayle, Van, Van Gils, Gils. The book is Happier at Work. And Gayle, would you give us the website and where we can get the book?
So it's happieratwork.com, and that's my website, and it will have a link to ordering the book. And also you can go to Amazon.com, and you can put in Happier at Work and my name, Gayle Van Gils, or Happier at Work and the Power of Love to Transform the Workplace. And it should come up. And also, I mean, it might very well be in your bookstores. You can go to your bookstore and ask for it, but I have no idea where in any particular city whether it's there. So I would say Amazon's the safest place.
That's the safest and the easiest.
Yeah.
And again, we tell our audience, if you want to be successful, you have to take action. We're doing the part to let you know about these great books, authors, ideas, theories, but you have to get up, get hold of the book, try it, and see if it works for you. And if so, you're on that path to success, and it's going to move very rapidly. Gayle, in your book, I think it's on page 31, you actually have some mini exercises, and you call them mini adventures. Can you talk about those and how that will help us?
Okay, let me look at those. Mini adventures. Oh, well, so this is something simple you can do to experience what we were saying about a little bit of quiet or what's going on in your mind or what mindfulness is, not based on meditation, but just on paying attention to what you're doing. So I suggest the first one is take a walk without wearing earphones. Just go out for a walk without an extra input and pay attention to what you're seeing, hearing, and feeling. And you can try focusing on one sense field at a time. What are you smelling? What are you feeling in your body? What do you see? What do you hear? So that's just one simple exercise that is a practice of mindfulness. And another thing you could do is prepare yourself a meal, sit down to eat it without reading or listening to music or watching TV. Wow, just the food. So notice the flavors, the textures, the ingredients, the sound of your own chewing, and what you're feeling. And actually, interestingly, that kind of exercise makes you much more aware of what you're eating, and you end up eating less. This is one of the keys to losing weight. I have another program on losing weight based on mindfulness.
We're getting 2 for 1 today, huh? This is a twofer.
Yeah. And so then another thing you can do to get an experience of quiet is just sit down in your home or out in nature and do nothing. Just breathe and notice. Do this for about 5 minutes. Just sit there and breathe. Or if you really want to see what goes on in your head, spend a day without using your cell phone, iPad, computer, or electronic device. And notice how that makes you feel and how many times you think about reaching for one of those devices. Because according to everything I'm hearing now, we're actually addicted to our devices, and that it's the same part of the brain lights up when we think about or reach for our iPhone to check Facebook as if we were taking a drug. So it's pretty scary.
And I think the companies like it that way because, according to 60 Minutes recently, they're getting our attention more than we want to give it to them because they ping us. They know to make us scroll. That'll make us see more ads and many little tricks they're playing on us.
Mm-hmm.
And, Gayle, I just want to emphasize, you talked about taking a walk without earphones. That's a practice I often do, and it's amazing how many new ideas come to me because everything is silent. There's no radio on. There's no background noise. And I'm walking through the neighborhood now. I'll think of problems that I have in a completely different light. And
absolutely.
I'll definitely endorse that method because that's one of my favorites. Gayle, I want to let our audience once again know that our guest today, if you're having trouble at work, if you'd like to be a little happier at work at home, the book is easy to remember, Happier at Work, by our guest Gayle, Gayle, Vangils, Van Gils. And Gayle, can you tell us the website and where we can get the book?
happieratwork.com, and you can get the book by going to the website and by going to Amazon and putting in the title of the book and maybe my name as well.
And again, this is something very easy if you want to get started on the trail to success, if you want to enjoy every day more, and why shouldn't you? Gayle gives you a lot of mini exercises, mini drills. It's very simple, it's painless, and it doesn't cost anything other than the price of the book. Gayle, thanks so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for this opportunity. I really enjoyed it.
Quite all right. We had a lot of fun. We'd like to remind our audience that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we'll continue our journey to success.